Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. We are super excited to be talking about this summer's Hartford Nationals. That's happening here in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, July 11th to 17th. And to promote this and to talk a little bit more about it, we're talking about a great local event happening in Lansing that is a great feeder to this program, and that is called the Michigan Victory Games. And so to talk about the Hartford Nationals, Move United, and the Michigan Victory Games, we've got some great guests today. We've got Abbey Smith. She is the Michigan Victory Games Director. Thanks for joining us, Abbey.
Thank you for having me on today.
And then we've got Jessie. She is the competition manager for Move United. And we're going to talk about this a little bit too. She is a 4-time Paralympian, and then you 7-time Paralympic medalist. That is pretty awesome. And now you're working with Move United to help put on these Hartford National Games. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Excellent. So we're going to start with Abbey because the Michigan Victory Games are right around the corner. That is happening in Lansing, and those dates are May 15th to 18th. And so there's still time if you want to get registered for this. So Abbey, why don't you just tell us, what are the Michigan Victory Games?
Yeah, so it's a adaptive sporting event that occurs, like you said, in Lansing, Michigan, at Michigan State's campus. And so we host a variety of adaptive sporting events for individuals who have a primary physical disability, ages from 7 and up.
Excellent. We're seeing some video here from past games. So there's a lot of different sports and a lot of different athletes with different backgrounds that are here. Can you tell us a little bit about the variety of athletes and why they might be doing adaptive sports or using a wheelchair?
Yeah, so we, as you can see, variety of athletes. Some are ambulatory, some are wheelchair users. So as I said, they have primary physical disabilities. So a lot of them have cerebral palsy or spina bifida. We also have a variety of individuals who have traumatic brain injuries or have had a stroke and are looking for a way to still be competitive in sporting events.
What are some of the different sports? Because there's a lot of different ones I see here: swimming, track, weightlifting. Can you walk me through some of the different things that the athletes can do?
Yeah, so we do a variety of a variety of events. So swimming, there's a variety of strokes that we offer. We also do track and field, so javelin, shot put, discus, and then of course a variety of track events. We do cycling, we do long course ropes. Our longest one is a 20K biking, and then we also do cross country, so a 3K and 5K. For running, and then we also do, as you can see, bowling and cycling. So yeah, we have a lot of events. Yep, we do bocce as well.
Nice. Yep. Awesome. Well, that is excellent. And so, Abbey, you've been involved for a long time. People that they're not just people who compete here, but people volunteer, right? Isn't that how you started?
Yep. Yeah, so we run on a volunteer basis. So I started when I was a freshman in high school. So that was about 14 years ago. So I've been involved for quite a while. Yeah, so I started volunteering, and I think I started for 2 days, and then I just loved it so much that I've been coming back every year, and every year I've been upping the amount of days that I participate. And so it's something very close to my heart, and I love volunteering and forming those relationships with athletes and then other staff members too.
And so it really just takes a whole community to make this happen. So if people want to get involved, they can register if they're an athlete. They can also volunteer, but you're probably also still looking for people who might want to sponsor or donate. Walk me through some of the different ways that they can get involved.
Yeah, so on our website, there is a volunteer page, an athlete page, and then a donor page. So we do offer in-kind donations from individuals, or we do sponsorships for businesses. This year, we are also doing a vendor fair. So if there's anybody who owns a business and wants to have a table and kind of get more involved, we are offering that this year. On the volunteer page, there's a way to click, and it will take you directly to our registration portal. So you can register as a volunteer. Same goes for athletes. On the athlete page, there's a place to click where it says athlete registration, and then it will take you and allow you to register. And then on our website, there's also a contact page, and those contacts go directly to me. So if you have any questions, feel free to put those in, and I usually respond within a couple hours. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, Abby, and which is really cool this year, the Michigan Victory Games is now connected to the Hartford Nationals and Move United. So this is going to be like a feeder where people can qualify at your games to move on to the Hartford Nationals later in the summer. How cool is that to be connected and really help our athletes kind of grow and continue their competition?
Yeah, it's really cool. One of my main mission points since becoming involved is trying to grow the network of things that
Mhm.
athletes are allowed to do. So always the more events I hear about, the more I want to hook people up to so they can
Mhm.
compete in multiple things. So this is our first year with Move United. So I've been working very closely with Jesse um, on being able to get us sanctioned. So we are currently sanctioned for track and field, and then swimming. And then we talked a little bit earlier today about bocce. So those are things that if people are wanting to go further, that we are able to offer them, which is pretty cool.
I love it. That's awesome. Just being able to network and connect and really help our community and these athletes just get out there and do more and more stuff. So one last time, just to let us know, remind us the dates and then the website where people can find more information.
Yeah, so the dates are May 15th to 18th of 2025. And then the website is just michiganvictorygames.org.
Yes, and this is all happening at Michigan State University in Lansing, which is so cool. So
Yeah.
now we're going to pivot from Abby in the Michigan Victory Games over to Jesse. And so we've heard of this. I think in West Michigan, we've heard this great news that the Hartford Nationals is coming to Grand Rapids. But tell us a little bit about what the Hartford Nationals are, Jesse, and then what Move United is.
Sure. So Move United is an organization that has a vision that regardless of your ability, everyone should be able to compete in sport and recreation. We have over 240 member organizations, Michigan Victory Games included, around the country in 45 states. And we have 3 signature events that we run. That mean our education conference, the Hartford Ski Spectacular, which happens in Breckenridge, Colorado in December. And then the reason why we're here today, which is the Hartford Nationals, which is a multi-sport competition for youth and adults who have either a physical, visual, or intellectual impairment.
Excellent. We're looking at some of the athletes playing some of the sports. Walk me through some of the different competitions that are in this and the different sports that people can participate in and compete.
Yeah, so we have 7 sports on the program this year. Those are archery, bocce, paratriathlon, and aquathon, which I've had to educate myself on. That is just the swim and run. I shouldn't say just. It is a swim and run without the bike. We have para powerlifting. We do shooting, which is 10-meter air rifle. We have swimming, and we have track and field. And in the past, we've also had wheelchair tennis. But this year, thanks to one of our great partners there in Grand Rapids, Mary Free Bed Hospital is hosting the Midwest Wheelchair Tennis Championships that first weekend of Nationals. So we are pushing all of our athletes to register for that event.
That's awesome. Yeah, we appreciate you doing that. That tennis tournament we've had for quite a long time, and it's awesome that they're at the same time. It'd be great to just get all the athletes intermingling and seeing each other's sports. And so, I said at the very beginning, but you yourself are a Paralympian. And I understand, right, that you got started at one of these Hartford National competitions. Just walk me through your story and how you got involved in, 4-time, 7-time medalists.
Yes. So I got my beginnings right here at the Hartford Nationals. So when I was 7, I was injured in a car accident, and I sort of lucked out in that I went to a rehab hospital in New Jersey that has an adaptive sports program based out of it. And so before I even was discharged from the hospital, they had grabbed me and said, hey, you can get back involved in sports. It did take a little bit of while and a little bit of convincing, but I got involved, tried out lots of sports, figured out I was really enjoyed and was better at track and field. So that's what I stuck with. And I went to my very first nationals. It was called Junior Nationals then. It was Juniors Focus in 1993 in Ohio, and went on to compete at nationals for about a decade. And during that time, went to my very first Paralympic Games when I was 16. I went to Sydney, Australia in 2000 and went on to 3 more games. And yeah, I had some ups and downs throughout my games, but 7-time medalist overall, which is pretty cool to say now that, I'm old and retired. So.
Well, I mean, it's just so incredible. And look at you now, like you went and competed. And so you saw it from the athlete side, and now you're on like the leadership administrative side, helping to run these things. How, what is the impact that these games can make in an athlete's life, whether they do go on to Paralympics or they just want to shine for that moment out on the field?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's what we say. Like the Hartford Nationals, it may be a stepping stone for you to move on to something bigger and better, or this could be the pinnacle of your career. And we want everyone to have an amazing experience at the games. Obviously, competition is important, and I think it's pretty unique at Nationals because we bring over 400 athletes together from around the country. And a lot of times I know this firsthand that you're at home training and you don't get to compete against someone that's like you, right? The same age as you, the same classification as you. Mm-hmm. And so to come together at Nationals and have actual competition is really, really cool. And then I think more importantly, maybe it's the social aspect. You get to interact with other people that are like you, right? So we all know when you go home and in your community, oftentimes you're the only child or individual adult with a disability. And so to come to an event where everyone looks like you, sounds like you, and you can talk about things that aren't disability related, is pretty unique.
Yeah. That is so great. And you talk about that across the nation. So it's not just events like the Michigan Victory Games that people can qualify and get or sanction events to come to you guys. So if someone wants to get involved, they need to do that. They need to qualify at a previous event. What are the ways that happens, and like where are some of the places that people can do that?
Yeah, so we're really excited to have Michigan Victory Games on our calendar this year. We've got about 35 competitions around the country, so athletes can go and compete at one of those 35 competitions. And then if you don't have one of those competitions near you, we would encourage athletes to go to a national governing body competition, for example, a USA Track and Field meet in your area, or a USA Swimming meet in your area. Or if you're in high school, your high school meets or high school competitions, or if you're a college athlete, your collegiate competitions all count as qualifiers.
Wow. So that's a lot more than I thought, which is so great. So it is really accessible for people. So if you are watching this, you follow Mary Freebed and you live in Michigan, here's some information about how you can get involved. Once again, the Hartford Nationals are July 11th to 17th here in Grand Rapids. We've talking about sports, archery, bocce, powerlifting, paratriathlon, shooting, swimming, track and field, and wheelchair tennis. You can reach out to Maria Besta. Her email is maria.besta@maryfreebed.com. And you can learn more about the Hartford Nationals at thehartfordnationals.org. So it's just been so great chatting to our team here, talking to Jesse and to Abby. And the really cool part about the Hartford Nationals, it is like a week-long event. And it's not just this year, it's also 2026. It's going to be in Grand Rapids. But people can get out there and compete. But we also really need volunteers, right, Jesse? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We have over 600 volunteer slots that we need to fill for the week of July 11th through the 18th. Yeah. So we would love for everyone to come out, volunteer, get to see what we're doing, hopefully get hooked like Abby did, and maybe one day be working for Mary Freebed or Michigan Victory Games or Move United.
Yeah, awesome. And so Mary Freebed's connection is this. We're one of the LOCs, a local organizing committee. I believe that's right?
That's it.
We're so thankful to the West Michigan Sports Commission who helped organize this and bring this in. Partnering with them to bring in Move United and the Hartford National Games is so exciting. So we're going to wrap up this interview here. But Abby, anything else you'd like to share about the Michigan Victory Games before we let you go?
I don't think so. It's just a great opportunity. So I'd recommend, if you can, to come out and support any way you can.
You going to come out and volunteer or be a part of the Hartford Nationals too? Putting you on the spot?
I hope so. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, Jesse, before we wrap, anything else you want to say? Just last things or advice for people who might want to get involved in the Hartford Nationals?
Just that we hope to see you there. We are hoping to get above 400 athletes this year. And so shooting big, and excited to partner with West Michigan Sports Commission and Mary Freebed Hospital on this great event.
Awesome. Well, excellent. Well, Jesse and Abby, thank you guys so much for joining us on the live stream. Once again, we've been talking about the Hartford Nationals. This is where champions compete. This is July 11th to 17th in 2025 this year, and also going to be next year here too in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You can find out more information at the hartfordnationals.org. Anybody that's local in Michigan, you can also reach out to Maria Besta, maria.besta@maryfreeba.com to get more information. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching this, and stay well.